Here we go with a replay of that last incident. Shadow right in the middle of everything and brushed the tire with Melissa, I believe, and went off the track. He is calling for help. His fans cheering. Shadow needed a little push to get him back on track. White flag. The whole race has seen Russ up front, Chris nearby. George has joined the fray and is staying up front now for most of this mid portion of the show. Taking stabs at George. Tires with Chris. Loses. Oh boy. Chris's strategy was near perfect, but the bolt, or I mean the nut that holds on the whole drive tire come off, and the number 4 loses the bearings and everything fall off of it. Let's look at it again here. It comes off at some point there. Sparks there. You can see the sparks flying like crazy on the 4. Motor revs out. And the 4 has to duck down to the midfield. Chris had that strategy all ready to go. He felt like he had a good shot of winning this one. Now it's going to be very difficult for him. He's using a timeout to repair the number 4, but he was considering hopping in the 8, but he will go with the number 4 and uses a timeout. The Melissa Stevens rule now is that there will be no refueling after that break. So we only had a few cars refuel. I think Tim Galletta refueled. I think Shadow and Melissa were the only ones to refuel. I think pretty much everyone else. Oh, and Jesse hopped into the 5, which had a full gas tank, I believe. So everyone else was running on what they had on their tank. Green flag. Now Chris has to work his way up from the back for the first time, as he's been up front the whole show. Caution. I don't know what caused this caution. Yes, I believe it was a caution for Jesse Vipplemore. I don't see him out there. Jesse Vipplemore apparently caught his foot. His toe got crushed between the front bumper on the 5 and the back bumper of the number 9, which has a very high back bumper. And actually, that happened to Chris earlier in the summer. George looked underneath Matt. Now Matt. Russ has Matt charging on all over him now. Big time worry. Oh, Chris trying to work his way back up. Russ up on 2 wheels, really pushing the car. Chris is only gotten by Melissa, working on Tim. And Chris gets by Tim. Now up to 4th. But there's a lot of space being put between 1st and 4th now. He has a lot of space to make up. Russ is backfiring. Matt is testing him. Oh boy, Matt tried to trap Russ on Shadow, it didn't work. Russ up on 2 wheels again in that turn. Matt looking underneath Russ. Russ a little loose out of that turn. Matt going for his 10th Classic. His strategy's been the same in every single one of them. Uh-oh, whoa, boy, look at that. Chris almost got George on his son, Shadow. But Shadow pinched Chris off. He had to back out of that or he else would have went in the woods. While Matt is still working on Russ. And Mike gets underneath Russ and is pulling away. Russ was upset. He punched the steering wheel after a dominant performance for 100 some odd laps here. Matt takes the lead again. Fairly reminiscent of last season, the 2008 Classic, when Buddy Compton led most of the show. Picked up a lot of points, but then it was Matt that also got him in the mid-100 range. Passing flag out again for, this time for Melissa. Russ really pushing it, almost on off the track. It seems like his cart has loosened up as the race went on. He's plowing off the track there. Seems like he's got a little bit of a push. Ross now working on Melissa. Here comes.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. Ross took a wild groove around Shadow. George, meanwhile, is doing a hell of a job holding third position. Chris is struggling to get around him. He's in fourth. Russ, meanwhile, here is trying to get around Tim Galletta and put him a lap down. Russ still in second. Matthew is really putting a lot of distance between him and second. Chris has got lots of speed, but George is holding a good solid groove and racing pretty good. He can't get around him. Chris now fell away. Oh, wait a minute. Woo. Wait a minute here. George Russell clobbers into the tree. Let's see if we can see that one again. Let's look at it again. Shadow. George comes up on Shadow. And we see right in the corner of the screen. Ooh, right there. You can barely see it where George impacts hard with the tree. Comes back out onto the track. His own son Shadow pinched him off the track there. He hit the tire barriers. He's okay, but he took a little bit of a spin. Woo. You can see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen there. You can barely see it. Woo. Boom, right there. And we see it again there. He hit the tire barriers in front of a tree. We have plenty of tires on it, so it's you're rather well protected, but it's still a little bit of a wobble. One of these days that tree will come down. It's a little bit of a bother because we are coming strong into that turn too there. And there is our assistant camera girl, Carly, again, crying. Now, Matt, ooh, look at this now. Chris thinking he's got to go for it. Only I'm not exactly sure how many laps to go, but it's not a lot. He's got to get both his brother and Russ, the two hot shoes so far. George now making his way back up through the pack. Trying to get around Melissa. Chris trying to work Russ over. Again, he's a little quicker, but Russ has been fast. Russ seems to be slowing. His car is not as fast as it was earlier in the race. Bye-bye. Russ holding on. Seems like Chris might be a little faster than Russ. Russ seems to be fading as the race goes on. Matt slowly but steadily pulling away from second and third place. And there it is. Russ runs out of fuel. He pulls into the pits. Chris puts his hand up. We believe it was a caution, but no caution flag was waved. What was MC Howell thinking? Whoa. Now Chris has to work over, and he has to work overtime here to catch up with his brother, who is gone and pulled away even more, thanks to no caution. We thought the caution flag come out. MC Howell's ruling is that he said at the driver meeting that if you run out of gas, we're not going to throw the yellow. We'll throw the yellow if you brake. Oh, here he comes. Russ refueled and is back on the track. He's down 1, 2, or 3 laps. We're not sure. We'll have to count it later and find out exactly where he got. But after all that domination, he goes down a lap or two. Whoa, George gets into Tim. Spins out in oh my God. Russ almost clobbered into George Russell. This now sets up the battle. The battle between the two brothers, the only ones that have ever won a Galletta's Classic. The most longest running and most prestigious karting event in Oswego. No other karting events in the area have been going for longer than this one. Now Chris. He would have preferred to be in front of Matt in these late stages because Matt is so difficult to pass. But he's going to give it everything he's got here. Earlier in the year, he proved he could stay with Matt. Getting around him is something entirely different. They are taking off, though. Russ trying to get a lap back, but it's a little too late now. Inching away from Chris. This is fast, but it seems like the car wants to push a little bit in the turns, and letting off is just enough for Matt to inch away. Matt's car was not the fastest earlier in the race. Oh, and Tim Galletta. Tim Galletta goes over. Look out now. Chris and Matt did not see the caution. They did not see the caution until last second, and they could make it through. Everyone rushes over to see if Tim's okay, but he is. Harley seems like she acts up whenever there's a caution. Quiet in the studio, Carly. We're recording. Now Russ has moved back up to third, although we don't know for sure exactly where he is. We are pretty sure that George is still technically in front of him because Russ did go at least one lap down, maybe more. And George was on the lead lap. So Russ would have to pass Chris and Matt to get his lap back, I think. And we're not even sure if maybe he would have been 2 laps down. We'll check that in the scoring to get it all official. However, Matt and Chris here saved their carts for the whole show. They are pulling away now. Matt inching away, Chris trying to push it, but it's not quite enough. And look at this, George Russell has got back by Russ. I don't know exactly what happened there. But George takes back third on track, even though Russ is down a lap or 2. MC Howell says he was down. There's 2 laps to go from MC Howell. MC said that he counted 3 laps down by Russ. We'll have to confirm that in the scoring, but that is what the starter MC Howell says. White flag waving for Matt, 1 to go. He would have to break at this point for Chris to get him. Wait a minute. There's a glimmer of hope for Chris because the yellow flag is out. Yellow flag come out with 1 to go. We now have a green-white checker. This will be lap 102. If they complete this final lap, 102. White flag again. White flag for Matt. Matt Stevens gets the checker flag. His 10th Galletta's Go-Kart Classic victory. Matt takes the win in his number 33 kart. This is his 3rd Classic win in the 33. His prior ones come in the number 3. Chris felt like it was a good race, but disappointed that he had to go to the back.
Here you go, my boy. Take the checkered flag. I am proud of you, my child.
Oliver handing Matt the checker. Oh, and Matt. A little donut there. Speed Monkey chip patch showing his thoughts of Speed Monkey's braggart ways.
Boy, mine was getting down there. What might have had? How about me? I didn't feel no different. I gotta go get the stick.
Oh, you got a stick? Okay.
I think out of everybody.